truth and love, and I find those things in God alone.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here.
This is Bill Livingston. Bill, you've been pretty much a lifelong member here at OMOS. Not by choice. Your parents joined and you're here.
And they drug me here. That's right.
They drove you here, but now by choice.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. No, I have been a lifelong member. Really, it's actually my mother and I went here. My dad was actually Methodist, and he would always go to his church, and my mom and I would go here along with my sisters. And so been here for a long, long time. And then Amy and I, my wife, have been here most of our adult life. We were away for a couple years. Have 4 kids, and 2 of our kids were not baptized here, but they were babies. And then our 2 younger kids were baptized here. So other than that, been here almost the whole time.
Right. And not only that, but your kids went to school at OMOS. And so you've been a part of this parish and school for a long time. And you participated a lot. I mean, you remember all the fundraisers?
Yeah, going through almost the school and that we were active with the school, and I did parish council, did all that, and then we were active, and we did do a lot of things, and then things changed a little bit or a lot once Alpha came upon us, and so the story there is that John, who a lot of you know, he went through Alpha, and this was before Amy and I went through Alpha, and so we literally saw a change in him, and like, what the heck is going on? And John, those of you who know him, he can be a pretty persistent fella, and so he was saying, you should try Alpha, and I'm thinking, John, I'm busy at work. We're doing a system implementation. Amy was doing her nursing thing. She's like, John, my schedule, we're busy there. Well, Amy looked at her schedule, and for the next 8 Tuesdays, she had off. So, the Holy Spirit at work. So we're like, okay, John,
no excuses anymore.
We'll do this Alpha thing, and so we did. And it was a game changer for not only me, but for Amy too. But for myself, it was just awesome. And the thing with Alpha with me was it's called Alpha for a reason. It's for people who are just starting out, but it puts some of the basic fundamentals of Christianity in place and really goes through that. And it's really something to build on. So for me, I just latched onto that and loved it.
Yeah, and you continued with it afterwards. You helped out.
I did.
In what way?
We kind of were early on. That is when Amy and I went through it, and so done all kind of things within Alpha in terms of doing the host, the helping, the hospitality, helped in the kitchen. Well, that for me that means dropping off food, but Amy did a lot. And then even with the Alpha training sessions and things like that. So yeah, been involved with Alpha the whole time. Again, it's just my experience has been just such a wonderful program and doing that. And then with that, after Alpha, you meet so many nice people, and it's just a wonderful thing. And so got involved with the prayer ministry, which has been just an amazing, wonderful thing. And then within that, the prayer ministry, there's different little components of that we're real active in, and it's just such an easy, loving thing to do, and it's really just good stuff. And then have done hospitality, doing the small groups. So really, it was in our case, Alpha was kind of that impetus behind all that, and then of course it just got bigger from that.
Right, and when you say bigger, you're like running online Alpha at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened either, but well, I kind of do, but I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. No, there's a story there. I mean, it's one after the other, and that is that you and I, Father Mark, were talking about Alpha Online, and I I initially said yes before I had kind of any idea how to do it. But I will tell you, and it's true. I said yeah. When I said yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll because at that point I wasn't sure how to do it. Literally within 2 or 3 days, I was talking to John, and because John called, he was in Denver at the time. He said, "Oh yeah, I've done Youth Alpha online. I'll help you out." Again, the Holy Spirit. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So I like to think of it as John's the brains and I'm the beauty behind that operation. So
obvious.
That's kind of an obvious statement, of course.
Yeah,
but,
it is. You didn't need to say that.
Right.
But the odd thing is, another piece of that little puzzle was we were talking to you about Alpha pre-COVID, pre-online Alpha, like a few weeks before that, not even knowing what was going to happen.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yes, you were going to be involved in Alpha in a big way, and then COVID hit.
I forgot about that.
Yes, yeah. And then because Bill, you have an IT background. I mean,
I do. Yeah.
Technology is not a foreign thing to Bill.
Yeah.
And so we transitioned pretty quickly.
We did, and it's been amazingly enough, really, all things we did not know how we were going to do this. But of course, you think through it and you work through it, and it's really come together very nicely. And the one thing that we've tried to do is make Alpha Online easy. And by I use that word easy, which is kind of a scary word. It sometimes can be a confusing word. But our definition of easy, I guess, is that just one click. And so that's one of the components that is a good thing about Alpha Online. And it is different. It's not the same as Alpha in person. It's different. But at the same time, because there's so much work that people have done prior, really, we were able to take all those things that have already been built and transform them into Alpha Online. Mm-hmm. And so from a guest perspective, you have one click, you're in the meeting, and we're all together. And the virtual component, there really are some awesome things to it. And that is, one of the things is that, first of all, you click 1 minute before the meeting, you're in and you're on time. And then, which is nice. And then the other thing, it's small little things. Everybody has their name up there. So you kind of instantly know everybody's name, that kind of thing. And I can tell you, because we've done it now, we're doing it the second time around, that little community and that getting to know each other happens actually quicker, I think, than in person. Just because of that, because you're literally right there. Everybody's in front of you as you're doing this, and you get to know each other. Right. And it's been awesome.
Yeah, not only that, you're sitting in your own space, your own living room, wherever, and there's that comfort level, I think, to start out with. You're not in a strange hall or property that you've never been to before. Not only that, we didn't invent this wheel. The wheel was developed, but not to the degree that you guys have worked so hard to do. But they've done Alpha Online right at the beginning of COVID through Holy Brompton Church in England. But we weren't far behind.
No, it's in because they were having a lot of the same struggles or challenges we were having, and that is because it was brand new to them too. Yeah. And so, it's interesting because they continue to work on it. That is, the Alpha folks continue to work on the Alpha Online component. But and we've tried to tap into as many things as we could, from their perspective, and use as many things as we could. But the model we're using, it's a little bit of a hybrid in terms of what Alpha's suggesting and what we at Omos have done, and it's very, very, very similar. Mm-hmm. And so the end result is, like you said, we're right there, and it's moving forward. And with the group of people we have, we're always getting new ideas and different ways to tweak it. And that, so it's like in-person Alpha kind of evolves, and it gets a little You get good ideas, it becomes a little easier, you're able to repeat it, those
Yeah.
kind of things.
So the most fascinating thing for me is that the experience of a virtual alpha um, is different, but still pretty worthwhile and effective.
Yeah,
Would you say?
our experience with the guests, because we've done just one complete alpha, and we had some very nice comments, and it wasn't so much about alpha, but it's what we did. It's the alpha program. And they were very positive in terms of what they got out of it and their experience and the people they met and the groups they were in. So it was all good. And again, it just the Holy Spirit
Yes.
doing his thing.
And that's how I want to end it. I mean, just the amazing influence of the Holy Spirit, but the fact that you were open to every turn in the last, 6 years. Anything that was proposed to you, you kind of said yes without really thinking things through, which is not how you normally are.
That's so true. I mean, I think I'm one of the poster Yinzer childs for the Holy Spirit, and there's a lot of us around here, and that is what I mean by that is I think about that, and it is silly as it may sound. I think there's just yet another reason of God's existence. If no one was going to change me like this. Nobody was going to change me and say, oh, you can do this. Oh, you can run alpha. Oh, you can do this interview with Ann. It wasn't going to, it's only the Holy Spirit. And you just open your heart up a little bit. It's amazing what can happen. And I honestly, I think about it, and if you would have asked me to do this 5 years ago, I would have said, no, you are crazy. Not going to happen. But it's amazing when you're blessed enough that you open that heart and invite God in, what can happen. That's the only way I can explain it, because it's not me. It is not me. I want to be clear.
Yeah, and what more can you say? You can't top that, and that is just an amazing story. And
it's good stuff, and it's amazing. And I invite everyone, just invite Jesus in. Invite Jesus in and see what happens.
All I need is truth and love, and I find those things